Alright, should be live. This is been a hectic one. Hopefully I'm live. Sorry for the delay, guys. I had my OBS not working properly, so I was like, brilliant. And then also I did film a YouTube video as well before this, and I was like editing it up, and I had to wait for it to export, all that good stuff. But yeah, I'm going to have a look at the chat because it seems like we've got loads of people. Loads of people have joined. Get it on my phone because I can't see the chat at the moment. All right. Just okay. All right. Yeah, no, it's been a brutal day. It has been, and to be honest, and I kind of wanted to do a live stream today because it's more of just a fact of like these happen. And look, I'm about to show you my screen, and it's very red. It's very red. Yeah, like, and to be honest with you, it's what happens sadly in the market. Like, we've had some serious green days that I even said in the live streams so many times to people that I always saw my portfolio going to 120, 130, possibly £100,000, which is insane because it ran up to like 210 at one point. But it's just corrections happen, and because of the type of stocks you like I'm in as well, it's going to happen brutally. Maybe it won't go that far, but I'm just preparing myself mentally for it. And then when you go back into that bull market, everything will have a premium on it. But anyway, let's go into it. Let's just get into it. So yeah, I'm down £15,000. Yeah. AMD, we can't even see where they all finish because it's just the market close. But yeah, everything's scrubbed kind of held. But Oscar's had a bad time. I haven't had a chance to probably look at their earnings. I know they beat on EPS but just missed on revenue. 2025 was never really the year for Oscar anyway. It was 2026 they want to be profitable. 2027 they can start getting decent numbers up, like 14 billion in revenue, 5% margins, like EPS $2.25. So yeah, I mean, and this is the thing, like, you've got to be really mentally strong. Welcome to the stream, everyone. And like I said, I want to do this stream because I just want to, like, it's just good to be on stream and like being and talking to everyone in these situations because it has been a brutal day. It has been mad. But then it goes back as well. Like, you want to, whatever you're putting into the market, don't expect to be having this back until even 5 years because you don't know what we're going to go through. We could go through a period like, I'll show you. I'm not doing this to scare people, by the way, because I'm just going through what I've experienced before, and it happens because it does. So 2022, about to be 2022, but let go 2021. It just went down. The market went down for pretty much a year, nearly a whole year. As you can see here, really brutal. So yeah, but we're up a lot on these positions. I'm up 116% on so far. I'm up 101% on Tesla. I'm up 9% on Snapchat. Palantir up 807%. Oscar 18%. And Oscar I'm up 18%, and I've only just started building a position in Oscar and being new to it. Grab has been Grab. It's been the same really. Fubo is I would have been like up 100 odd % because but I averaged up, so it's gone down. But AMD up 117%. Up on the month, I'm up 3.4%. Up on the 3 months, I'm up 20.5%. The year up 180%. Like, it's just what happens. And like I say, my portfolio could go back to like 130, 20, don't know. But I'm not a trader. I don't trade. I just get into individual stocks that I see that's got potential growth. Obviously, I go off risk to reward of like how much do I want to risk with this? Is it worth the reward? Is it worth it? And a lot of the stocks I'm in, I've got conviction that they will do well, but you just have times in the market where people just sell off and premiums don't have much of a premium on a stock, and you have to ride the wave of it. And but as long as the financials are solid, and obviously some of these stocks that I'm in haven't got solid um, financials at the moment. Like, I'm not going to lie, like Oscar's not profitable at the moment, so you can't say they're solid, but they've got a lot of guidance, and they look like they've in a few years' time that they can get to that space where they have solid financials, just like SoFi does, just like Palantir's on their way. Well, they have. So, um, I'm I'm cool with what I hold because this I'm not touching this money for a long, long time, especially the ISA. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna have a look at the chat, but it's being brutal. Yeah. Good to know we're all suffering together, Charlie says. Yeah, that's the risk with individual stocks, down 7% in a day. That's why I stick with index funds, lower rewards but less risk. No, exactly. And if you that sort of person that wants that, so fine. It's completely fine. And that's why some people them type of investors and some people are investors that want to get into stock like individual stocks. So just have to zoom out and all is good. No, exactly. And if you're someone watching this and you got into the stock market last week or today or whatever, obviously it's a bit brutal because you've just had an awful timing with it. But don't worry, honestly, because if you're in good stocks or if you're in a solid ETF like the S&P 500, you should be fine. Yeah, can we see the invest account? Okay, so this is a prime example as well with the invest account is, and I'm glad I've done this. I'm really glad I've done this because technically I've bought the absolute top of the market, the local top. But that's fine because this is the thing. You can't time the market such. We don't know if it could have kept going or whatever. And I know it was running a lot the market, but it's fine. And I ended up buying Meta near the top, and then I ended up buying Honest at its situation. And honestly, Honest has had an absolute mare, and the earnings were not great. And the thing is with Honest is it's going through a transition phase. It's going through a situation where they want to focus on being profitable. They've got a good balance sheet. They got like 70 odd million in cash, and yeah, and they don't have debt. It's a good balance sheet, but they're going down the direction of getting rid of the deadwood, the products that aren't doing well, the margins that hurt it, whatever's hurting the margins, and it just doesn't seem worthwhile to really carry that on. They're cutting a lot of that out, and it's meaning their revenues are declining with recently, and their revenues will decline quarter over quarter for the next year or so. But they're going to focus and double down on the products that are working and ramp that up. So I think it's a bit of a it's going to be a hard and a horrible situation for a year or so being in that stock, and I'm not going to touch it and buy more stock. I don't think, because you are just risking the fact that do they do that? Can they do the transitional phase? Um, so yeah, but I mean the balance sheet's great. They are making a profit. It's just the revenues are going down because they're cutting away and getting rid of the products. So they're, because of the fact that yeah they're making that money in the revenue, but the margins are just hitting them bad, and it's killing the bottom line for them. So, and they're just going with the ones that are going to do well. I think we're going to do a video on Honest so I can actually have a proper showcase, because I've just filmed a Fubo video and why I'm buying more Fubo and why I have bought more Fubo. So stay tuned for that. I'll probably release that tomorrow, or Saturday. Maybe tomorrow. Yeah, maybe tomorrow. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But Meta, oh god, Meta's been a nightmare. Like, I'll go into the investor account and show you guys. It's been brutal. So Meta's at $618, down 11% on this. My average is 702, so I've been able to bring it down. But yeah, I'm going to buy more Meta as I get paid though. Meta, I think's like, it's becoming criminal, to be honest. But this is good opportunity for me to get more. That's why you watch me to get your fix. Fair enough. I mean, it's going to probably be a bit entertaining, watching me, because I think we will be getting well. I mean, we're going through some sort of pullback, but we could be going through a correction, and it could get really ugly. But I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it, and I'm also ready. Like, if the trolls start coming in, which I know they will, mainly probably more so TikTok, but this is what happens. And I got it ages ago. I got it. The problem is, as well, last time I was in quite a lot of overvalued stocks. This time I'm in stocks, it makes sense with some of the prices that I've been buying at, so I'm not too worried. Whereas last time was brutal because I was buying at such a crazy premium. But yeah, Honest down 32%. And this is me being straight up. This is the first stock where I've really got wrong. Like, if you could, like, in the last few years, this is seriously the stock, and the timing of it. Like, the earnings weren't great. They're going through a transitional period in their company. Like, companies don't just grow. Like, here, their revenue is there, and then they've kind of settled down or gone down in revenue. Sometimes it doesn't just go all the way up. They've got to pull stuff back and change up the way the company is, to better the future in the long run. Like, the short term, the quarters can severely struggle because they're trying to do something or try and work on what's best for the company in the next 5-10 years instead of the short term. But the problem is, a lot of people are very short term minded. Like, they've got such a short term mindset with things, and you can't have that if you're in the stock market. So yeah, so that's that. And I don't really care showing that I'm down on both. It's just the way. This is a brand new portfolio, and it's just like, Meta was a good price at when I bought it at, like it was, and it's just an even better price as it's going down. Same, like, Honest, obviously that was more of a risk that I wanted to take, and I'm willing to take the risk to stay in it. Like I said, I don't know if I'll buy more at this moment in time, because it could get more ugly because their revenues are going to decline the next few quarters. But they're focused on just being profitable each quarter. So yeah, that's the invest account. But like, I started that portfolio less than a month. It's been like a few weeks, so it's not like And that's like stupidly short term. Hi mate, thinking about investing in the Mag 7 but haven't had much experience knowledge. Any thoughts? To be fair, Zach, it's I think the best, I can't give financial advice, but the best thing that I've learned, and I just don't think you can really beat, is you get into find a stock you're convicted in, and if you don't know much of the stock market and you're very new, I just wouldn't touch individual stocks. I'd be completely honest. Or if anything, like more of the well-established stocks like Meta, Apple, or Amazon or something. But you need to understand, like, why is this price a good price or why is it a bad price? And there's a lot of reasonings and why and how someone could get to that figure. So that's where it gets complicated. But the big thing is as well is just it's averaging in every month. You're not putting, if you've got 10 grand, don't lump sum that 10 grand in. Put £1,000 a month in, or £2,000 a month in. Just average it in. Don't just lump sum it in, because you could buy the local top. And when I say the local top, buy 2 weeks ago or a week ago, when the S&P 500. So you could have bought on the 29th of October and bought the local top and put that 10 grand in, and the S&P 500 is down 2.4%. So then individual stocks you'd be down even more. So, and then you'd be like, oh, I've got no money to buy this dip. And I think a lot of people make that mistake. So don't do that. I know a lot of people in the Discord are saying about Ondus is absolutely dropping, and to be honest, this is Ondus. I've not obviously done like my research with it, and I don't know much about the company as such. But I personally, the red flags for me before I even wanted to look into it, and I know it's a contract kind of business, so if they get a contract, the company kind of switches overnight and could be amazing because they get a large contract. But the thing that just worried me with Ondus was just how inconsistent they were. Like within the last, do you know what I mean? Since 2021, their revenues were just so scattered up and down, and it's just very hard to kind of get a grasp of where they could be at. And then the other thing I didn't like was, if you look at the earnings, they miss quite a lot on their earnings, and that was just another worry. So when they're expected to do certain stuff, earnings, they're more than likely to maybe not beat or hit because they keep missing. But that's what you get when it's a very small company. I mean, they've grown a lot, so their market cap's grown more, but it's still considered small. But if you've done your research into Ondus and the reasons why you buy an Ondus, I know a lot of guys have done a lot of research into it, so they got high conviction, so that it could really pay off and it could do very, very well. Because I haven't done my research, I'm not in Ondus, and that's why I'm not going to be. But they're the first things I was just like, I just rather not risk like something like that. But it could be stupidly high reward. But I just don't like it when companies are it's just, yeah, the revenues are all over the place. Meta is still a good price at your buying point in 5 years' time when it's heavily in the green. People care too much. Exactly, like Meta, I think is just, especially for now, if Meta stays at this price or keeps going down, I am happy. And people think, why? But I'm just getting a cheaper price. It's like equivalent of getting, I don't know, this is a really bad example, but let's say I like a coffee and the coffee's £3.50, and all of a sudden the shop where I'm getting the coffee from is now saying it's going to be £1.50 for a while. I'm like, great, well happy with that. But obviously with Meta, it actually makes money, so you'll actually be able to get rewarded when it reflects. But it's just kind of that mindset of like, it's just a discount at the moment, and it's just what happens sometimes with stocks. So And they would have beaten their EPS if they didn't have that one-off tax payment. So you've got to bear that in mind. So, but yeah, Meta is something I'm buying each month at the moment. I would like to have a big position in that, even though it's going to be in the invest account. It is what it is. You have 100% portfolio in Duolingo. This did the earnings were great as well. Mad. It's insane. I've noticed Palantir's PE's gone down. It was 600 and something. Now it's not. It's 382. It's still high, but I think Palantir's forward PE now is about 200. And Tesla's been trading at between 150 and 200p for ages, for years. But yeah, no, I've done a video, guys, on Fubo. So if you're watching this stream right now, I have done a video on Fubo and just covered some of the information and stuff that I've come across recently in Fubo. And I just wanted to make a video, try out a different kind of format video where I'm on my laptop and I'm talking about some of the information that I've come across. And yeah, you guys can take a look at it, see what you think of it, go and do your own research and find more, and see what you think. And I've done that, so I will try and I don't know whether to post it Friday or Saturday, because Friday everyone's going to be at work, so they won't see the video unless I post it in the evening. But if I post it Saturday in the day, during the day, it's got like more time to like be about in the day. So stay tuned for that. Am I buying any more SoFi or AMD? No, I'm not actually. Because the problem is I've only got 2,100 in cash. So, and the positions I've got in it I'm happy, unless it's severely dropped and I've still got cash in my ISA, then yeah, I will. But I keep ironing up buying more Fubo, to be honest. I'll be honest. Hi Ben, could you use the AI feature on Trading212 and see what it says about your portfolio? Yeah, I've done that before. It completely disagrees with my portfolio, which is so fair. I'll do it. With the portfolio has grown significantly, with a total return of 162%, increasing from about 71,560 invested to approximately 187,414 in value. The portfolio beta is 1.63, indicating it tends to move more than the overall market, showing higher sensitivity to market changes, hence the drop. Top gainers include Iron with 64% return and high price swings, Snap with a 10% return and moderate volatility, Fubo with a 44% return despite low portfolio share. Top losers are Palantir, SoFi and AMD, each experiencing weekly price drops between 8.6 and 11%, though they still show strong overall returns since purchase. The portfolio is heavily weighted towards technology and financial sectors, both showing strong growth. Palantir's a 1.85 beta indicate the overall price to earnings ratio is very high, around 250, reflecting a focus on growth stocks rather than value or income, which is so true. And Palantir is dragging that price to earnings up quite a bit. Same with AMD, but it's just because they've got so much growth factored into them. So, and then obviously Tesla, same again. Technology sector dominates the portfolio. The portfolio is concentrated with top 3 holdings, Palantir, SoFi, making up about 81% of the total value, increasing exposure to individual stock risk. Palantir alone accounts for 36% of the portfolio, which is a significant single stock risk given its recent weekly price drop. Yeah. The thing is, this is just such a long term portfolio though. If I needed this money within the next few years or year, I would be not wanting to have this portfolio at all. Oh, did the Take Two stock drop? Get hammered on Bitmine. SoFi, I haven't actually even looked at SoFi's price. 27. I was buying some at 26 and 25 actually. So we honestly we've had a drop, haven't we? Especially in the growth stocks. Oscar's had a tough time. It's just been a brutal drop in one day. It's not like it's been gradual. It's been just like one heavy drop. So yeah. Get my student loan tomorrow. Good timing. Yeah, my granddad actually bought some Rolls Royce when it was like under £1 and then sold for like four, but then it went up to like 10 or 11, didn't it? Crypto portfolio. I can't actually share it on the laptop, but I will do a video on it. But it's kind of, I'll be honest, I'll have a look at it now. It's kind of, it's just not, it's just sideways or just slowly dropping. Like, yes, yeah, it's red. I haven't checked it since. I thought it was actually more than that. It's 17,700. So, yeah, it's dropped. But crypto is crypto for you. It's just been an absolute red day in general for everything. Like, what did the S&P 500 do today? Does anyone know? Went down 1.1%. Hmm. Any news? Ah, Fear and Greed Index. 24. We're in extreme fear. We'll have a look at Twitter in a minute. I didn't sell any shares in Honest. No, I am sticking with it. Obviously, I spoke a bit earlier on in the live stream of my thoughts with it. They're just going through a transition phase, and it's going to be brutal. It is going to be brutal. Can they even pull it off with what they're doing? I mean, the only good thing with it is they are profitable. They did beat on EPS, so they're making sure each quarter will be somewhat profitable because they're cutting off a lot of costs and a lot of products that are dragging them down. But then their revenue is going to get hit because they're taking away certain segments of their company that aren't performing well, that were generating money revenue wise, but just not helping the company with the bottom line and it just being too much of a drag. And they're scrapping that, taking that away, and focusing on the stuff that is doing well and doubling down on that. So you're going to see in the quarters of the revenues just drop in. But then if you zoom out probably in the next 5-10 years, it'll be a little blip in the road, possibly, if they get it right. Obviously, if they need to get it right. But sometimes this is what happens. But their balance sheet's strong for the company for how small they are as a company. And who knows, they might be just setting themselves up to become a profitable company that's just tickling along and a big company just comes and buys them, or they could be end up getting rid of some products that are not doing well and get more into like the cosmetic space. So which stock in your portfolio do you think would be the best buy currently? I love Palantir and AMD, but it's so priced to enter here. Palantir for me would be a no-go. I would not be touching Palantir as much as I love the company and amazing. You got to bear in mind, I've taken profits from Palantir. I've taken my initial investment out. So Palantir is pretty much like, I don't want to say free money, but it's like I've taken out my like risk that I had in it. So yeah, Palantir will look cheap in 3 years' time if it stayed at this price, but that's 3 years' time. That's a long way away. Um, like that PE will shrink, 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 and get smaller if it stayed the same price. It could go down. I mean, I don't know. It depends on your time horizon as well, but we could go into a bit of a correction and this could really keep going. So for me, if I was getting into an investing portfolio, which I'm doing right now with the invest account, I'm just putting in every time I get paid from my job every month, I'm just chucking in bits into Meta. I won't be touching Honest now because of the situation they're in, because they're just not got the growth there at the moment. I'll just leave them shares be, down 30% on it. I might average in if I see anything when it comes to their next earnings look positive or anything I hear, but I'll leave it for now. I'm not going to sell out of it. I was debating it, but I was thinking actually, I reckon it'll be okay. I think the transition phase will be all right. And I mean, the balance sheet's nice. It's good for the size of the company for sure. Um, so you don't have a risk of them just burning so much cash and they're in debt. Then I would have just sold out. I just wouldn't be bothered with it. But because they've got cash on hand, and they got no debts and they are profitable, very small, I'm just like, I'll leave it in, see if they can do the turnaround play. And yeah. But going back to what, I can't give financial advice of what to get, but I think SoFi is something I would consider if it could get to 25. Any like, because I was buying some at 25, so yeah. Meta, I think, is just a no-brainer. I've been buying up Meta as any time I've got some money to put in, I've been buying Meta. How did I find out about SoFi? SoFi I found out through Twitter and YouTube, like different YouTube channels covering it, and Twitter, and then eventually I had a look into it, and just kept looking, um, and then eventually I pulled the plug and bought some, and I bought in like, I averaged up, so my average is 12, but I was buying it at 7, 8, and then I bought some at 17, and then yeah, it's brought it up, and then I bought some at 25. It's a very small amount, but I find it, like, people don't want to average up, they get worried and scared, but yes, your return might not look good and for the videos and be flashy and being like, oh, look at this, like, but I don't care about averaging up, and I think that's maybe a mistake I did with Palantir. I never averaged up when it was at like $40, because it was a great company and they were doing great earnings, but I just never averaged up. So, but it is what it is. If you're new here as well, hit the subscribe button and hit that like button. We've got 8 likes at the moment. If every single one of you hit the like button, that would be mad. Like, yeah, Duolingo I want to look into more, but don't hate me or anything, because I just don't know the company well enough at all. I'm just going off what I think, like, but because I've not actually really looked into it, but I've just seen the financials and they look incredible. But as a company, like, is it an app where you can learn to talk different languages? Because I think people's worry was, like, for instance, like someone in my Discord in the Patreon group said about the Apple AirPods. I don't know how well they're working. Apparently, I don't think they're working that well, but eventually something like that will. You put the AirPods in and you can listen and it will translate live the language. It's like, I know that's a lazy way, but like, it then kind of like, people start wanting to get a subscription with Duolingo to learn a language when something can just do it for you. And yeah, just the whole AI situation people were worried about, that people get lazy and not want to learn a language. But I don't know if they've got more to them as a company. They probably do. Um, oh no, Palantir. I'm still in. I'm still in Palantir. Yeah, no, Oscar is getting hit. Oscar will get hit though. Oscar will Oscar will have a rough time in 2025, beginning of 2026, but I don't think it will have a rough time as the earnings start getting good, like really good. Like they want to be profitable, like I say, in 2026, 2027. Some of the numbers that they want to hit are strong. Like if they can hit what they say in 2027, like I did a video on it, their fair value will be like $45-50 a share. But there's a big if they hit what they believe they can hit. Charlie, I spoke about Honest a few times throughout the live stream, so you might want to rewind or re-watch the live stream because I don't want to like repeat just because other people just hear the same thing. But yeah, no, I said about it. But short though, I'm gonna hold my shares as well. They're just for a transitional phase at the moment, so it's gonna be a bit of a rough few quarters, I think. But maybe that's also been priced in now with what they've said in their earnings, in the earnings call, and what they've reported. A lot of analysts will probably be pricing that in now, so they know the next few quarters are going to be rough as. So that's why, hence the huge drop. They're pricing that in. So even if you just get the slightest good news or a little bit better on the revenue than what they think, it could spike a bit, or it could just trade sideways for a long time. I think we've probably had the worst of it. Would I buy more Snap? Do you know what? I was considering it before the earnings, but it's one of those now where because I've got £2,000 in the ISA, if I could deposit more, then I would be so buying more Snap. But I just don't see the point in buying much Snap anymore because I wouldn't really have a big position in it. I'd rather add that 2,000 into something like a Fubo or a Oscar. Do you see what I mean? So, but maybe I'll buy Snap in the invest account. Maybe I'll do that actually. That could be a shout actually, because I need to probably have a look at their earnings that they did, but they're just slowly growing. Their daily active users are growing, so yeah. But Grab is another one I want to buy though. If Grab can stay at this price until April, which don't know, but still could do, I think I'm going to load the boat on Grab. No, it's all good, Charlie. It's all good. If anyone's watching this stream now, well, obviously people watching. We've got 103 people. I appreciate every single one of you. Um, I have recorded a Fubo video because I've realised I've not done a Fubo video really. So I've just kind of gone across some of the recent information that I found with obviously what's happening with the new merger and the new deal and what's going on with it. I just come across some information and bits that I picked out that I like. For anyone that is holding Fubo, or I mean, people probably seen or knows about the research that I'm probably going to show in the video. But if you haven't, definitely check out that video. I'm debating whether to post it tomorrow night or Saturday day. So I don't know yet, but stay tuned for that. Yeah, Meta's a great discount personally, I think. Oh, Iron's earnings are today, right? Have I got that right? Robinhood's earnings were crazy good. I remember considering debating whether to buy that at $8 and I never did. So that's probably one of the biggest mistakes I've made. Iron is expanding its AI GPU fleet to 140,000. Has anyone got their earnings? For a minute then I was like, revenue up, blah, blah, blah. I was like, no way. Take-Two's earnings. So someone mentioned that in the stream. So 33% year on year. GTA delayed. Oh my god. Oh my. Is that right? Is this right? That's mental. Yeah, Matt, Nike, I might actually create a position in Nike in the invest account, actually. That's a good shout. All PayPal. PayPal. Iron is. That was another one that I was thinking of getting into the invest account as well. Wow. Up 70% nearly I'm on that, but I only got one share, so it's just not position. I was just having it on my radar. That is honestly. I'd love to do the calculations on that then, if they've now. I would do that live on stream, but my projections calculator is down and not working because it was costing so much to have your own website sorted, which is such a shame. And obviously, if you know, I obviously tried to get that going and having a subscription, but we didn't get enough uptake. So, and especially with the cost of it, so we had to stop it. So, but I'm in talks with someone that's created their own website, and it looks really solid. I'm gonna try it out when it's properly sorted. And I requested to have a discounted a DCF model projections, and also the usual projections that I do with the earnings per share EPS. So I'll be able to test that out, try that out, and try it out on stream, and see if it's any good. And then, because I requested that, I said one thing I'd love if you could do it. Can you do a projections calculator instead of me having to manually do it? That's the whole point of why I did the website. So he's working on that, and hopefully it's good. And I'll test it out on stream and see if it's any good. And then we can start putting in numbers like this, because that is a game changer. Yeah, wow. Anyway, block, that is not good. Open Door was a massive stock. This was so. Everyone kept going on about Open on my streams. How's it doing? See, I mean, to be fair, it's still up 213% in the last 3 months, but you can get seriously burnt. You seriously can if you get into stocks up. Might not do well on their earnings and stuff, but I don't want to judge because I don't know actually how. I don't know much about it, so stocks don't always do and beat earnings. Sometimes they reinvest, or they have to do something to look out for the long-term growth. That's why Donald Trump was saying about not doing quarterly, doing every two times a year or something. So like an EPS miss doesn't always mean a bad thing. If you look through the numbers and the financials, it might be because they have to up R&D, or they've upped their marketing spend because they're anticipating, or they're about to release a product and they want to put up the marketing, which could reflect in the next few quarters. Do you know what I mean? So I wouldn't always go off quarterly, but it's obviously handy to see where it's going. But just sometimes look into the numbers a bit more. And this is another one. Look, I mean, SoundHound. What's the other one that everyone... How is this actually doing? Some of these are getting absolutely hit, aren't they? We're 190,000, guys. We're actually going up. PayPal's a dead stock. I mean, I agree in the sense of at the moment it is. No one wants to buy it, but it's if you actually look at the numbers and where it could be going, it looks stupidly undervalued. Even if they didn't really do good performance with the growth, but just did 5% or 6% revenue growth, this PE is going to just keep going down, and soon it'll be 9 or 8, and it'll just be stupidly cheap. It'll be so cheap. So I'm PayPal. I have 5 shares of Meta. Lululemon's an interesting one because that got massively hit last time. Did it recover? It didn't really recover from the big drop. Obviously I'm interested in Nike because I think the turnaround story could be huge. It's been hit massively, as you can see, but I wouldn't really touch retail clothing kind of brands because it's just very, unless you're a massive brand like Nike, but obviously it's been hit because of the situations it's had. But it's kind of like some trends come out, things go out of fashion, so I would just be a bit scared holding something like Lululemon, for example, because it could be just a phase and then no one wants to buy it anymore. Yeah, Amazon's had a massive run. Yeah. How did that get... See, a lot of stocks have been hit a little bit, even the ones that have, but still not. But yeah, I think PayPal will have its moment. To be fair, if anyone's actually watching on this, if you're into technicals, it's nearly touching the oversold bit. When is their earnings? 17th, that's ages away. I'm trying to think. PayPal. Pain power, as they say. I appreciate everyone that's liked the stream so far. 34 likes. That's insane. And we've been streaming for 49 minutes. Wow. So they beat on their EPS by 11% and they beat on revenue by 2%. So the issue is with PayPal, and it's why it's not really getting excitement. One of the reasons, anyway, is they're not growing quick, or they're just steady. They're just a steady stock, steady company. You're looking at like the revenues aren't crazy, the beats, or they're not accelerating the growth, and it's just a case of will they, can they? But it's found nice support here though. It's found support at this price, and even if it got to that previous high, it's like 37%. You'd have to like look at their investor relations and see what they're guiding and what they're looking at and going for, but yeah. Hey, how's it going, bud? We sticking strong with Fubo, man. Tons of swings today. Yeah, mate. I've actually recorded a video on Fubo, so I'll be releasing that either tomorrow evening or Saturday day. So stay tuned for that. I've got a Fubo video on the whole merger situation, some of the even financials. So people are going to really probably want to watch that if you're into Fubo or got into Fubo or yeah. Yeah, exactly. Retail clothing based on trends and hit. Like it's just hit or miss. So yeah, exactly. Do you know what I'm going to do? Because I've not done this segment in a long time, but we used to do this in the streams, and it was where we reacted and just had a look in the Discord of people's portfolios, because I just wanted to show you the bad times as well, because it's not all glamorous and green, and like people have been hit as well. People have been hit. So sorry. People will be buzzing about this. I'm just in the Iron chat, so everyone in Iron in the Discord is buzzing about that one. But yeah, so because we've had a red day, we'll have a look at the portfolio updates, and it's going to be bad, I'm sure. Like that's brutal. I think Marley's very heavy in Ondas though, so yeah. But Brandon, he's up 4.6%. I mean, that was yesterday though. But started investing in May. Big credit to this group. Up 64%. Then be red ones in a minute. That's mad. That is actually mental. One for the ages, but the number on a screen. There we go. So I just wanted to show you that there are red days and it's happening to other people as well. So I wouldn't like stress too much. As long as you're in solid companies or you're in the S&P 500, you shouldn't be worried. But I would worry more if you haven't been doing your research, because you might not have a clue what's going on or why it's going down, or you might panic. But if you've done your research and the fundamentals and the financials are growing, I just wouldn't worry. It's just short-term noise. So, but I think I'm going to end the stream here. I'm really happy. I'm glad I did the stream in the end, because you've got to show this, the down days. And this is what the YouTube channel is about. It's about showing you not the green times. I mean, recently, and my channel has blown up because of how green everything's been, but this is a cycle, this is a phase. We'll go through a cycle of red, and I'm sure my channel will not grow quickly. Even the live streams, I might not get as many viewers or anything, but that's fine, because I enjoy doing this, and I do, and I'm so happy with the community that we've built. So, and this could go on for a year. Obviously I'm thinking of the worst, by the way, guys. Like this could turn around tomorrow and we'd be green. back up to all-time highs, but I'm just saying the reality of like when it gets red and there's red days, people will obviously stop watching, or people don't even want to look at the stock market or getting into the stock market, so that's completely fine. So yeah, my future plan, it's probably not what you're probably asking about the portfolio, but generally my future plan at the moment is I really would love to do YouTube and like the whole social media thing full time. Like I really would love to do it full time, and to be able to do it full time is I need to be able to obviously, well, I need a bigger audience to get more money off AdSense, to be able to do it full time, because it's more reliable, as you could say. Obviously the Patreon money really helps, and then the referrals of Trading 212, but the problem is with the referrals on Trading 212, it's very, you're just hoping you're hitting the algorithm, and obviously new people are new to the app and wanting to sign up, so you can't really rely on that as an income. So I'd like to grow the channel, build it up, and then I'd love to do these streams every day, and then get an office space and be able to just do loads of YouTube videos, post a lot more YouTube videos, a lot more streams and that. But oh, you're thinking in general? Oh, fair. That's all right. The raccoon investor. Thanks for updating and showing us it's not always green. Oh, thanks, Sam. Yeah, no, I appreciate every single one of you watching, honestly, and everyone that's liked. 41 likes in a live stream is insane. And we had like 105 people at one point watching. So, yeah, no, I appreciate every single one of you that's generally watching right now. And yeah, hopefully I've helped in some way. When you've watched the stream, of just even more like psychologically and mentally, because a lot of that is the key thing in investing, as well as just trying not to get too attached and emotional, because it can be quite a crazy mental ride, the stock market. But yeah, I hope these live streams help just kind of, yeah, help mentally with it all, because it can be mad. But it's just nice that everyone can get in the chat and even talk to each other, and also just think this happens and you're not the only one, because you're not. But yeah, last thing I'm going to say as well, just to promote it as well, but if you do want a community outside of these live streams 24/7 almost, then check out the links in the description with the Discords. We got two. So we got one which is the community one, the One Big Journey, which I just showed you earlier. Massive community that we've got in there. Everyone's posting research and all sorts. And then it's £5 a month. We've tried to make it as affordable as possible. And then we've got the other one, which is my Patreon kind of Discord, which is just giving any info that I find before any of my update on my videos, and also just live updates of how many shares and what price I bought into. So if you want to check that out, then link in the description. But anyway, I appreciate every single one of you. Subscribe if you're brand new, like the live stream, and I'll see you in the next stream. I don't know when I'm next streaming, but honestly, please look out for the Fubo video, because it's quite interesting. Cheers, Dan, for watching.